What is up, gamers? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I've been playing this game called Battle Aces. It's in the closed beta right now. I happened to get in, and I've been having a ton of fun with it. And tomorrow, they're actually going to be releasing this patch and implementing it into the game. Today, I'm recording this on July 7th, 2024. So the patch should be going in tomorrow, July 8th. But, I wanted to get this done and out of the way and get you guys up to date and informed and give you my opinion on this. And so let's jump right in. The first change looks like will be to the bomber. And it's going to be it's going to prioritize tier 1 units and changed to not attack or damage durable units. So that'll be a good change. I'm not a big fan of the bomber myself, going up against it or playing with it. So I'm hoping this doesn't make the bomber too common of a unit or too powerful. The bomber seemed like it was okay. Some players I've seen have used it very effectively, but it was definitely very difficult to use. So this seems more like a quality of life change to it. I'm sure that'll make it a lot nicer and easier to use for those of you that want to use it. I'm just hoping it doesn't become too popular after this. Next up then, we got the Kraken. Health is increased by 36.8%, which is a pretty big hefty number. It already had a ton of health on it. But I think the real problem with the Kraken is how much you have to save up to buy this thing. It's just way more expensive than anything else in the game, and there's honestly just no reason to ever go for it really, except for as a meme or something. So if anything, I think I'd prefer to see them nerf it a little bit, but then also reduce the cost for how much it takes to purchase this thing, because it's just, other than that though. Let's move on to the Valkyrie. Valkyrie range decreased by 16.7%. Damage against ground decreased by 35%, while damage against air is unchanged. So the Valkyrie has been basically the king of the skies, the best air unit in the game. It is a tier 3 unit. So you'd kind of expect that, but it was, I think, probably just a bit too powerful overall. It was definitely also, very decent against ground units as well, and it just completely dominated everything in the air as well. So this is a good change for it, I think. Bringing it more in line with a few other things, such as the airship, which looks like they're changing the airship too. So let's just jump into that one. The airship damage against ground decreased by 35%. Damage against air is unchanged, so that is the same as the Valkyrie, it looks like. And then damage against durable air units is decreased by 29.3%. So a similar change to the Valkyrie. It looks like the Valkyrie will still probably be the king of the anti-air units, tier 3 and all that. But the airships might have a little bit of a fighting chance now if you have quite a few more of them than the Valkyrie. But at the same time, the airships also getting a little bit of a nerf because they also, could do some decent damage to ground units, and so it just made the Valkyrie and the airship, a very good all-around unit. So it's good that they're making that change, and then reducing the damage against durable air units. I believe that would include the cat bus and the bulwark or something like that it's called. And so it'll be cool to see if those, two units, the bigger, tankier, beefier tier 3 units will make a comeback, because they really haven't been all that popular and haven't been used all that much because they just die so quickly to a big mass of other anti-air units, one of which being the airship. So I think that's a good change overall, and we'll see how that changes things up here. And then next we have the Heavy Hunter. Similar change to the airship here, with the damage against durable air units decreased by 46.7%. So that's a pretty big nerf, but directly against the durable air units. So I think this will still mean the Heavy Hunter is going to be very good. I think it's going to be the best anti-air ground unit. So it's still going to be very strong, very good. And, so if that's something you like to use, not really a reason to get rid of it or anything like that. But just keep that in mind when you're going up against the bulwark and the cat bus. And I think that's a good change overall. So next up is the Predator. Splash damage is removed, and single target damage versus air as well as durable air is reworked. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by reworking it, other than removing that splash damage. So it'll be interesting to see if there's actually like a number change to the damage. So next we have the Wasp. Damage against workers decreased by 16.7%. That's a very good change, I think. I think the Wasp has been very, very good. I think it's one of the best tier 1 units. And it's just a unit that can do a lot. It can be all over the place. You can have, multiple different groups of these flying all over the place in your opponent's base, picking off your opponent's units, their workers, hitting their core base or something, just doing all sorts of different things. So reducing the damage versus the workers will be nice, giving yourself a better chance to defend. Next we have the Scorpion. Scorpion, one of my favorite units, and I thought they were very good. So it's very interesting to see them getting a buff. Their health is increased by 7.7%. That seems like a decent little buff. Like I said, I thought the Scorpions were already very good. They're already like a pretty tanky unit. And then, especially when you compare them to the Crab, health to cost wise, these were even better than the Crab, I think. So it's interesting to see them get a little bit of buff, and this will probably be, my favorite change, just because I love using these already in the first place. So to see these get buffed, I think will be a lot of fun. I'll definitely be. Next up, we got the Missile Bot. Damage against air decreased by 6.25%. Missile Bot, I think, is by far the best anti-air unit. Anti-air ground unit, tier 1. So it's good to see them getting a slight nerf. This should make them a bit more competitive with the other options at that tier. However, I think I'd prefer maybe to see them do a little bit less against ground, because right now they also do really good DPS against other ground units as well. So I think it just kind of makes them an all-around very strong unit. So overall, I think this is a good change, and we'll have to, kind of wait and see if this is actually enough to, bring it in line with the other units. And it looks like they're also nerfing the Recall Hunter in a similar way. Damage against air decreased by 5%. So they're not hitting the Recall Hunter quite as hard as the Missile Bot. But nice little change, I think, you know. It just seems like, to me, it seems like the Tier 1 anti-air ground units are doing just a little too much damage to, you know, the Tier 2 and even to Tier 3 air units, you know. If you have enough of these masked up, you know, the Recall Hunters, Missile Bots, you know, whatever other Tier 1 anti-air unit you might be using, if you have enough of them masked up, they can mow down a lot of Tier 2 and Tier 3 air units. So I think it's good to have this little change here, and so we'll see how that plays out over the next week. And then finally, let's see, we got some changes to the war credits. Earning rate is increased. I think that's really good. The earning rate so far has been very, very slow. So, you know, I'm hoping they'll increase it going forward and stick with it being at an increased rate. It sounds like they're going to be doing a pretty big increase. So that'll be nice. And hopefully that'll let me pick up some more units and kind of mix and match and play around and mess around with some more. So I think that'll be good overall. We'll see where they kind of land in the long run with that. So, and then finally, auto groups and 2v2 worker location changes. Let's just read this out. We can't get to testing the auto control groups and the 2v2 worker changes for this phase of the closed beta. So we will continue testing internally and aim to bring these to the next phase of the beta. So yeah, I remember hearing that they're going to be making changes in this regard, but it looks like they'll just have to be moving that forward to the next phase of beta, so that'll be fine. I don't think those are on the top of the list of priorities, so that's fine. And then finally, thank you for the support on the ranking system exploit. We will be looking to work on ranking system improvements as well this year. Anyways, that's it for the patch notes. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please